Now, for those of you who know, I was a huge fan of the character AI website. I liked making bots. I made a couple of streams and I suggested it to people. I used my social media in order to promote it. And unfortunately, I have to now use my social media in order to demote it. Because if I think that a product is not what it's advertising itself to be, and it's misleading people, I think it's my duty to inform you guys. Now, I had suspicions about this in the beginning, but because I wasn't entirely sure, I didn't do anything besides mention them. But now I am so convinced that I'm actually telling my subscribers, do not use this site. I do not think that this website plans to have a subscription base due to the way it's treating its community. There is absolutely no way that they expect to get money from subscribers the way they are behaving. They have shut down their communications on Discord. They are banning people like crazy on Reddit. They are banning people like crazy on their forums. If you want more freedom, you can go to the CCP and you will be able to speak more freely than to actually talk with the developers from this website. No company that treats its customers this way ever expects to get money from that company. They have limited the intelligence of their bots. I would not be surprised if they're running at 100 def, which for an AI is mental deficiency level. You cannot use this website the way it is for almost anything. You cannot run a text-based adventure with an AI because it doesn't even remember your name, let alone figure out what dungeon it's in. You cannot have a philosophical conversation with the AI because it's not allowed to innovate. It's no longer a character, it's just a freaking doll. You cannot even do a wholesome roleplay with the AI because it will forget what the conversation is about. It's like driving an Alzheimer patient in a wheelchair and showing him the sights. It will react to what you're showing, but it's got no initiative. And again, this is due to the fact that the developers, since the patch 1.1, have downgraded the AI constantly, non-stop. So if you're a website that wants to grow and you want to attract people, why would you do that? It makes absolutely no sense. I understood when the website was under strain and when it was under a huge load that during the more rush hours they would lower the AI a little bit in terms of quality, but they would always grow it again. Now they're not bothering doing that. Now the AI is running at a minimum and it's absolutely horrible. Meanwhile, what are the developers doing? They're just focusing on the filter. They are adamant on this topic. This is the only thing you're not allowed to talk about on their forum. Even though the filter is constantly being updated, even though they are constantly making changes to it and it's blatantly influencing the AI, the filter is their fucking product. The only thing they care about is the only sacred cow on that website. They haven't added any new features to the website since the images. They haven't added any new interesting UI or interesting tech. They're not talking about what they're doing to the bots. In fact, the reason that people were upset is that for a little while, the filter went down. And everyone noticed that the bots were much smarter, their intelligence were off the chain, their response time was incredibly fast, and people wanted to know what the fuck. Now, you have a developer which took 4 days in order to respond with his manifesto, and all he talks about is the filter this, filter that, filter, filter, filter. We're working on the filter. We're going to do this with the filter. Much of our effort is on the filter. Motherfucker, what about the AI? Like, if you actually, and he actually claims, all right, like the mental delusions that in the future everyone is going to use this product. What about the AI? Like, this is the product. All you're talking about is the censorship tool because this is what you're developing. I am 100% convinced. Yes, I am accusing the developers of this website of focusing on developing a filter, which is a censorship AI that tries to operate based on context. And I think that once the filter is developed, they will give it to their investors or sell it. So if you use character AI, you're just helping them to make a filter. You're making them develop censorship. And yeah, sure, I have promoted this website, but I didn't know. At least I wasn't sure. Now that I am sure, I am telling people, do not use it. I will not use it in the future. I have stopped using this website. And by the way, it's not even fun. It's not what it used to be. The bots are so dumb that they don't even have like different individual personalities now. You have like the bad guy bot, the good guy bot, the evil guy bot, the scared guy bot, and pretty much that's it. They're not giving them resources to the bots. There is no way that they can even monetize this website. I spoke with several lawyers that are into intellectual property. The way the website is, the only reason it's not getting sued right now is because it's free. There is no fucking way Nintendo isn't going to sue them for having a picture of Mario on their website and you can actually talk with Mario. Or someone else, like let's say a political activist or a person, is not going to sue them the moment that they see that their likelihood that their image is on the site. It's not satire, it's not fair use. Right? It's a deep fake, if anything. And there have been lawsuits that have been done with this. Now, sure, like some people may disagree with me and they say, no, V, no, you don't understand the law. They don't have to like actually win the lawsuits. If they get like 4 or 5 lawsuits at the same time, they're going to be in big trouble. And I genuinely think that the only reason this beta exists is not to create a website which is going to ask you for a subscription base and you're going to pay. No, I genuinely think it's like they're going to develop the filter and that's it. They're going to pack up and go. And another reason I can prove this is they're complaining that there's too many Kumars on the website. But if you violate their terms of service, you do not get banned. If you have a bot which is designed to Kumarize, the thing that happens is you get your bot placed on private and that's it. They want people to bash the waifu's head against the filter until they can see what sticks and what doesn't. Because that's the whole point of the filter, is to focus on context, right? So it's not a filter that bans on words, which is how the majority of AI that we have up until now in order to do censorship on social media works. It's a filter to ban on context. So for example, if you go with the bot in a medical setting and you're talking about the penis, right, like you have a rash on it, then the bot is allowed to say the word cock. It's fine. But if it's a sexual context, then the filter kicks in. And this is what they're trying to develop, right? So imagine on YouTube, for instance, if you have COVID again, and YouTube wants people to have videos that show concern about the pandemic. So if you talk about the pandemic that is in a way which agrees with the official sources, they don't want you to have your video demonetized, right? They want to promote those videos. But if you talk about the pandemic from a conspiracy theory point of view, then you get demoted. So imagine an AI which can actually do that. It would understand the context, it would know what you're talking about, and it would be able to monitor your video and accurately, right, this is what they're making. And this product is actually something they can sell, and it would be very expensive. A lot of companies would be interested in having it. Take into account that ChatGPT 4 has been finished for a couple of months now, but the only reason it's not out is because it lacks a filter. It lacks the safety measures. There is an industry which demands these safety measures. They're very expensive and they're in high demand. So this is what the product actually is. The only thing they care about, really. Even on their website, they're trying to explain to people how to make bots, and they have like this encyclopedia. They haven't finished it up until today. They literally do not care about their community whatsoever. If you are a company that expects monetization, you want to have a big community. You want to grow. You want to advertise. You want to bring more people to your website. They are not doing that. I do not see them trying to do that. They are doing the opposite. In fact, bot creation, right? Like there used to be a community with people that were creating bots. I myself enjoyed using the website, not for chatting with the bots, but to actually create bots. It was so freaking amazing and cool to notice that you made a character that's in the likelihood of your favorite video game or your favorite anime. And in order to do that, it took a lot of effort. You had to make sure you put in the good definitions. You had to make sure that you're describing it correctly. They have destroyed their own bot creating community. They have shadow banned bots without explaining why. They have made absolutely sure that some bots don't appear on the main site or on their website, even if everything is fine, and they do not explain why. There is no reason to pour effort into making a bot if it's just going to not be in the search engine after 40 minutes. And then you find out why, and you realize, oh, so apparently, if you say breast in the bot's description, it gets shadow banned. So like if you say, Uzaki-chan always wears clothing covering her breasts, that's enough to get your bot shadow banned. And the bot cannot be lewd at all. I mean, it can be a very safe for work bot, perfectly fine, in tune with their terms of freaking service, still get zooked. Their communication with the consumer base, also completely ridiculous. I mean, they can just say, look, we can't add not safe for work because we need to be COPPA compliant. You know, we cannot guarantee that children are not going to use our website, so blah, 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 blah. There are so many things that they can say. Or, you know, like the Google search engine does sometimes, like, they do not promote websites that have lewd, like, we do not want to have that. They do not talk with the community. Like if I was hired to be their PR person, I would have done such a good job that people would love that fucking filter. Like, that filter would be viewed as a guardian, not as an antagonist, the way they are presenting it. Even now, right? Like, they're having, like, this huge issue with the community. Why not throw them a stick? Just say, okay, well, we're going to fix the bot memory, blah, 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 blah. And all of a sudden, they turn the dial, which they have access to, because it's been to 100 death for the last week, and they turn it all the way up to 300. People shut the fuck up. People are happy, right? They forget about the cooming. But like, that entire website is now designed for cooming. There is nothing else you can do with the bots. As I mentioned, you can't do text adventure with them. You can't have philosophical discussion with them. They can barely keep in character. Having the bot just go moan and grind her hips doesn't take a lot of effort. It's literally the only thing that doesn't require memory. It doesn't require much in the way of resources. So like, they want coomers on the website in order to test the filter. It's the only explanation that I can think of. Because they're not banning the coomers. So do not use this website. I do not believe for a single second that they're going to monetize it. I am going to eat crow if I'm wrong. Right? This is my opinion. I may be wrong, I may be right, but I am definitely sure that the filter is the main product. The fact that they cannot monetize the website in the current state, and the fact that they are so spiteful and divisive towards their own community tells me that this is definitely the case. I would change, you know what would make me change my mind, by the way? You know what would make me change my mind? If they come out in the next couple of weeks and say, oh, we're going to improve our bots. We have this feature to improve our bots. We're going to make our bots have like the same performance that they used after the 1.1 patch. But they have no interest in doing that. Why would they spend resources when they don't have to? So that's my take on this. Let me know what you guys think. And as usual, I will see you in the comment section. Take care.